our love of ancient history and our wish to tell a good story that really drove us to develop the Hegemony series. Amongst all the writings of Herodotus and Demosthenes, there was a wealth of famous stories to choose from. In the original Hegemony, we really focused on telling the story of the little-known prequel to Alexander the Great's career by telling the story of Philip II. It outlines the development of the revolutionary Macedonian phalanx and the rise to dominance of a small tribal kingdom. In Hegemony Gold, we went back to the conflict that redefined ancient warfare with the story of Athens and Sparta and their heroes, Pericles and Lysander, during the epic Peloponnesian War.
But a great strategy game is more than just a good story. And while we were determined to make the gameplay accurately reflect the period, obviously, we also wanted to ensure that the game was still fun and approachable. A big part of this is the map that we built up from NASA satellite data that seamlessly covers the entire game world with no load screens or interruptions.
We also wanted the pace to be as measured as a turn-based game, but also have the energy of a real-time one. And ultimately, we want to bring some innovation to dusty wargame concepts like logistics, because there's no reason an accurate game has to be all numbers and menus.
I think the most important feature in Hegemony has been the way players can transition from the grand strategic view right down to the battlefield where the tactical decisions are made. You know, there's no sense that you're taken out of one mode of thinking and then placed into another, because everything's really part of a whole. Your armies march and do battle on the same screen where you build your walls and improve your economy.
Pause control is also central to the design of the Hegemony games. The game is designed to move in real time, but you also have the chance to stop for a bit and gather your bearings. So don't worry if you can't master build orders or do 5 things at once, because pause control means you don't have to.
Well, Rome is one of the most popular topics for ancient strategy games, but we love the challenge of bringing something new to the genre. The beauty of retelling the Gallic Wars is that it is well documented but not often dramatized. This is where Caesar became Caesar, where he went as a successful politician and came back a celebrated general and legitimate threat to the established order in the Roman Senate.
You also have 2 very different types of armies and military systems to model. A lot had changed since the hoplite armies of ancient Greece. Rome had a legitimate killing machine in her legions, but also had to rely on locals to maintain control over the Gauls.
In Hegemony Rome, the rise of Caesar, we're significantly increasing the visual detail to create a more immersive and exciting world that will really draw the players in. Sieges will be much more dramatic as individual units stand atop their city walls to defend themselves against your siege towers, and in the field, players can now see peasants working their crops as the legions march past.
The game map in Rome stretches from northern Italy all the way to the British Isles that recreates features from tiny streams to the tallest mountains in Europe. All this extra detail gives you a lot more maneuvering room on the battlefield and really lets you test your tactics.
Yeah, one of the reasons we chose Rome was that we really wanted to add more construction options to the series, and no one in the ancient world did this better than the Romans. Roman armies were always building forts and camps to keep control over a region that you can't really understand how the legions of this period fought without appreciating the importance of fortification. To the amazement of Gauls and Germans, Caesar's engineers repeatedly did the impossible by bridging the uncrossable Rhine and bringing legions into the heart of their homeland.
You'll also be able to upgrade your legions and cities with a significantly expanded skill system. Despite the uniformity of the Roman military, each legion and city was unique, and we're going to emphasize these differences in the new game. But we're going to get into more of those details later.
We're really excited to share the news and information about Hegemony Rome that's going to be coming out in coming months. Caesar's campaign in Gaul was bloody and violent, but it was really a masterpiece of generalship, and it's really been exciting for us to capture it in both a realistic and a fun way.
Mic check. Boop, 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 boop. Dramatized.
Dramaticized. It's not often dramatized.
Shut up. Dramatized.